right, so let's talk about goal setting and asset development, what those things mean. A goal, there's a term for you. A goal is something you hope to accomplish. It can be anything from, I want to get all my homework in, to I want to get a certain grade on my homework, to I want to make the baseball team, to I want to learn this new song for band, to I want to exercise X amount of things. Whatever it is, goals are a good way to give you specific direction, and that's what goals are for, specific focus on something. It's one thing to say, well, I want to be a better student. Okay, well, what does that mean? If you set goals like I want to achieve a certain grade by doing these things, now you've got measurable things. We're going to take a look at that more specifically in just a minute. Okay, setting goals. Setting goals is a series of steps created to measure progress toward accomplishing a goal. So let's say I'm a student who kind of is struggling with grades, and I've identified that the reason that's happening is because I'm not doing my homework and I'm not studying for my test. Well, a good goal might be for each week for me to make sure I get 100% of my homework in, and then it's done completely. You can look back and say, okay, it's Friday, did I get all my homework in? Yes, great, I've accomplished my goal. I bet good things are going to come from this. Or you can look at it and say, no, I didn't. I really need to make sure that I get all my homework in, and why didn't I? Well, I stayed up too late playing video games. Okay, well, let's not do that, and that'll give us more time to focus on our homework. You can process why you didn't reach the goal and make adjustments, which makes it more likely that you're going to reach a goal in the future. So that's a goal setting. It's a measurable way to look. A really good kind of goal to set is called a SMART goal. And SMART is spelled out with the post-it notes in this picture. SMART goals are very strong because they allow things to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's talk about what that is using our example of improving our grades. Again, if I make a goal that says I want to get my grades up, that's really vague. You want to make it more specific. Something to the effect of, I want to bring my grades up to all B's, if you will. Or I want to get all my homework in every week. Let's go with that example. That's specific. You can get to the end of the week and say, did I get my homework in, yes or no? Which also makes it measurable. If you look at the week and you go, well, I got all my assignments in but 2, you have a good idea of the progress you're making in your goal, which is key in any kind of advancement. You want to set a goal that's attainable, right? If it's 2 weeks before the end of the semester and you have D's and you decide my goal is to get all my grades up to A's in 2 weeks, well, it's not practical. You're probably not going to be able to do that, but you might be able to get them up to C's perhaps in 2 weeks. So that goal is attainable. You want it to be relevant. If your objective is to raise your grades or get all your homework in, you wouldn't then make a goal about shooting free throws in a row or something like that and expect it to translate into better grades. The two really don't have anything to do with each other, so it wouldn't be relevant. So you want to make sure your goal is relevant. You also want to make sure your goal is time-bound. Saying I want to get all my homework in is one thing, but saying I want to get all my homework in for the school year or this semester or this quarter changes things significantly. So it's important to know that you have your goal set in a time-bound manner. Okay, next thing I want to take a look at is understanding what your assets are, if you will. So when we're talking about goals, we want to talk about what we can use to attain those goals. All right, follow me? What we can use to attain those goals. So this is you. And let's take a look at the factors in your life and your environment, and so on and so forth. Okay, a couple of people who help you all out with your goals are your parents. Whether it's both parents, mom, step, whatever it might be, guardian. These are people who are in place to take care of you. I'm sure they would like to see how you set goals and attain these goals, and they're an asset to you. They can help you accomplish goals. All right, friends. We talked about peers in a previous video. It's important to be around good peers who have similar goals. Boy, that's a big one. If you're around peers that don't have similar goals, it's going to be much more difficult for you to achieve those goals. On the other hand, if you're around other people who are very studious and want to get their homework in and that kind of thing, you might wind up spending an hour doing homework with them instead of an hour playing video games and not doing your homework. So your friends are a great asset. Grandparents, extended family, things of that nature, kind of people who care about you in your community are another great asset when achieving your goals. Another is obviously your school. Certainly your teachers are going to be for you setting goals to get your homework in. Maybe there's a teacher specifically that you kind of click with and they're really helping you to become a better student in that regard. But certainly school is a place where you can find people to help you attain your goals. Coaches or peers, if you're an athlete or a musician, certainly your coach or music teacher is going to be able to help you achieve those goals. Maybe you're not an athlete, but maybe you want to get healthier. Maybe you can talk to a coach or somebody that you know knows something about that to help you achieve those goals. Hey, what's a good workout plan for me? That kind of thing. Another asset is your community. I have YMCA here. YMCA is a great organization. I grew up there a lot, spent a lot of time playing there. It's a good place to just kind of be a part of a community and, again, be around kind of goal-oriented people with a balanced life. And certainly your faith can certainly help that as well. So just a lot of things to consider when you're talking about what your assets are, what your influences are in achieving goals. Another thing we want to keep in mind is all of these things are in place to help you be successful when you're setting goals in your life skills and in general. It's really important that, assuming all the relationships are healthy in these different parts of life, that you're working with these people and not working against them, because these are ultimately going to be the people who care about you and want to see you be successful. So remember, when achieving goals, when looking at life management skills and doing that kind of thing, utilize the resources that are around you to be successful in that regard. Okay, talk about refusal, assertive skills, and conflict resolution. We've kind of discussed what it means to be assertive. We talked about refusal skills before, so we're not going to spend too much time on that, but we are going to take a look at some other things. Mediation, this is a term that we need to be aware of. Mediation is usually somebody who comes in between two people or two organizations or groups of people with the goal of finding a common solution. You might hear a Cardinals baseball player wants a new contract, and he wants a certain amount of money, and the Cardinals only want to pay him a certain amount of money. Well, sometimes they'll have an arbitrator, and another way to say arbitrator is a mediator, or somebody who does mediation, to find a solution between these two things, and what's a fair amount. Another place where you see this is between your friends. Maybe you've got two friends who are arguing about something, or there's some kind of conflict, and you come along between the two of them to kind of help the two of them kind of come together and figure these things out. And that's what mediation is. So when we're talking about conflict resolution, mediation can be a powerful tool in settling a dispute between two people or whatever it might be that they would not be able to necessarily solve on their own, or not solve as fast or in such as a good a way. Mediation. Another thing we want to talk about is conflict. Conflict is basically anytime there's opposing ideas, thoughts, views, opinions about something. Again, conflict is not a negative thing; it's a healthy thing. It's how you deal with that conflict that is important. All right. These are the where I got the pictures I used. I don't endorse the websites, just where I got the images from.